All right, so greetings, my YouTube family. I'm coming at y'all tonight. Y'all know who it is. I don't even need, well, to some people, I guess I do need an introduction. To some people, I do. Some of y'all already know, and some of y'all don't know. But it's Rashida Strober. I am the world's first dark-skinned activist. It's Rashida Strober. I am the queen of dark skin. That's right. It is Rashida Strober. I am the woman who brought dark skin to the internet, who put dark skin on the map, who brought dark skin to the Black masses on the internet worldwide. And tonight I'm coming at y'all with a hoarse voice and all, because I've been making videos, giving people updates. Every time the spirit hits me, I come on and I talk to the people and I let the people know what it really is with this whole dark skin lane, because there's a lot of liars out there in internet land. There's a lot of people that are working very hard to rip off the work of the science of dark skin activism that I created. And I'm telling you right now, I will not sit by and allow that to happen without a fight. They got a fight on their hands. You got a fight on your hands if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to allow people. And see, here's the thing. This is the thing that people need to understand. And I'm going back and forth. I'm going back and forth between my Facebook, and I'm going back and forth between YouTube. The thing that people need to understand clearly is that Rashida Strober, I've taken the real hits for dark skin. No one has taken more hits than dark skin than I have. You can create YouTube channels based on the work of the dark skin activist Rashida Strober. You can go out there and pull fake dark skin stories from over here and over there using other dark skinned women. You can do all of that. But what you cannot do, you cannot go back to 1998 at St. Petersburg College and reinvent the history, the birth of dark skin activism, which is what I already created. You cannot do that. And hold on 1 second. Let me go and silence this, because I need to go on. Okay, I need to go on to my people on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure they're in the chat box. Some people, hey, Shayla, watching. This is impromptu. To my people on YouTube, I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight, because every time the spirit hits me, I'm going to come up on to my social media and I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to let the whole world know, because this thing is going to come to a head. Eventually, it's going to come to a head. And what is going to happen is this is going to hit critical mass. And I'm going to eventually end up getting the respect, getting the recognition, and getting the money that I deserve in regards to my creation of dark skin activism that people, Black people, and these people know who they are, light-skinned people, dark-skinned people, mixed-race people, they are sitting up on the internet, creating channels, creating content based upon the work of the science of dark skin activism. And they don't even have the decency to say, thank you, Rashida. They don't have the decency to speak my name. Some of these people have went on to my channel 2 and 3 years ago and stole videos off of my channel and placed it onto their social media. These people have stolen from me. And what I'm here to say is it's wrong, it's unethical, it's immoral, and I am the real world's first dark skin activist. In fact, I own the dark skin lane. I own it. I own dark skin activism. I own dark skin activists. It belongs to me. You know why I own it? For those of you that want to sit there and say, oh, you just a narcissist. Oh, you just full of yourself. Oh, you this, you that. I get all kinds of criticism. But I'm dealing with what is factual. And like I told plenty of y'all before, I only deal with what is facts. And instead of people taking the time to fact check which is what I have encouraged people to do. I said, go and do your research. Go and see if what I'm saying, that I put dark skin on the map, I brought dark skin to the internet. I'm the creator of the science of dark skin activism, Rashida Strober. I coined the phrase and the phrases dark skin activist, dark skin activism. Do your fact check. But here again, what a lot of people will not do, they refuse to do, is to really seriously sit and fact check to see if what I am saying is the truth. And that's the problem. Anybody talking about dark skin right now in 2018, you're not the dark skin activist. I'm the queen of dark skin. I put this thing on the map. You should be thanking me. You should be paying me, because a lot of these people, they've made channels based off of the science of dark skin activism, based off of my work. And a great majority of these people that are doing this are Black females. Last week, just a case in point, just to give an example, I received a message from someone, a supporter, a fan over in the UK. They sent me a video with this non-dark skinned woman, basically asking me to look at this person's video and critique it in regards to the Black Panther movie. Okay. As soon as I looked at this video, I could clearly see the influence of my work. The influence of my work. And I could clearly see the opportunism that this person is using the struggle of dark skin activism for their own benefit. This is what I'm talking about when I speak about people on social media, all over social media, that are plagiarizing my work. This is a fact. And what I'm saying to you people is to do your fact checking, because a lot of you are not doing your fact check. All it takes is to start this thing off in terms of researching, is Rashida Strober the world's first dark skin activist? Did Rashida Strober create dark skin activism? Did Rashida Strober bring dark skin to the internet? All you have to do is start with those questions. Start with asking the questions. And then the answers are going to flow. The answers are going to follow. And I will not stop putting out information in regards to my creation of dark skin activism to the world, until the world stands up and recognizes. I'm going to make the world stand up and recognize, because I have facts and evidence on my side. Shout out to Dennis Nelson. I see your comment right there. And yes, we do need to talk. We do need to talk. You can inbox me and we'll come up with a time to talk. Let me hop over here to YouTube, because I want to make sure that my people on YouTube know that I'm here. I'm here. I'm monitoring the chat box. I want to talk about this question of, or this issue of, Rashida Strober brought dark skin to the internet. Well, going back to asking the question, is it legit? Is the statement legitimate? When Rashida Strober says she brought dark skin to the internet, that's a huge statement to make. That's a bold, brash statement to make. Dennis Nelson, you know what it is. You know, a lot of people know what it is. So let's deal with that. Rashida Strober brought dark skin to the internet. How did Rashida Strober bring dark skin activism to the internet? Well, everything has a history. And as some of you know that have taken the time to research me, one of those people being Brother Saladin, shout out to you, the brother that edited my book, which everybody needs to get, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. You did a great job, because you're one of the first people, and I've been interviewed by many people, some of the biggest names on YouTube, on Black YouTube. And y'all already know that. From Sonetta to Phil Advise to Tommy Sotomayor, Brother Sanchez, Minister Jap, I could go on and on. Notice that none of those names include the Black females on YouTube. We have to ask ourselves the question of why. We have to look at that. And it's certainly not because Rashida Strober is not willing to go on to these females' channel, because I've made it very clear that I will speak to or debate or discuss with anybody in regards to my creation of dark skin activism. I've made that very clear. I'm a very open person. But what it is that these females, and I'm calling y'all out because y'all know exactly what it is. I'm gonna try not to cuss tonight. I'm gonna try to keep it clean tonight, only because I'm on Facebook. You better be glad I'm on Facebook. But y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what it is. What it is a lot of you have sat back, first of all, with the Kendrick Lamar episode. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. And I only bring up I don't bring up Kendrick Lamar because, oh, I'm talking about Kendrick Lamar to say the post went viral to brag about it. It's not about that. Because what people need to understand as the world's first dark-skinned activist, that includes real activism in my community, which I've actually been doing, starting way back with my father, actually, who was in the Nation of Islam. Shout out to my father, Samuel X, may he rest in peace, who put the work of activism in me. You dealing with the real deal tonight, the real dark-skinned activists. Not just coming up on no social media, because I was doing this way before social media. Social media is just another platform. So going back to my father, who inspired me to engage in the work of activism, which inspired me to join up with the Uhuru movement way back in 1999, 1998. I was in the movement, helping my people, helping all people. Let's get that clear. So it was nothing for me to transition into the thought process of how do I deal and handle with the specific struggles of what dark-skinned people face. Because nobody wanted to deal with that. And I am the history of dark skin. I am the history of the dark skin struggle. I am the history of dark skin activism. So I would know. I'm the authority on it. Let's get that clear. Nobody was dealing with that. Even in the black movements that I was in, nobody was dealing with that. So when we go back in time, we find that Rashida Strober in 1998, and I'm just going to give a little bit of the history right here. You see this magazine? You see this magazine? This magazine right here is what spearheaded the birth of dark skin activism. What really got it in motion. Because see, for years, I sat back and took what I call dark skin mental abuse from my family, from so-called friends, in the church, in school, all over society. And I sat back and I did not articulate what was going on, what was happening, but I internalized it. And as I grew into a young woman, I began to think about these things and just really like spend a lot of time trying to understand, why is it that people treat dark-skinned people differently than non-dark-skinned people? That was always the burning question I had on my mind. Why is it? And for years, and by the way, I've written this book already entitled Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober Story, where I detail all of this, but I'm going to break it down in small chunks tonight. I was always concerned with the question of why dark-skinned people were treated differently than non-dark-skinned people, starting with myself. Why is it that when I was going to school, why was the dark-skinned males in school calling me blackie, ugly, spot, etc.? Why? And no one could answer that question. And believe me, I searched for what I call a dark-skinned savior. I talk about this in my book, and I'm getting ready to drop this book to the world, and I won't stop until every corner of the earth gets their hands on Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober Story. I will not stop. I asked the question. I searched. which led me to joining movements like the Uhuru movement, where I saw more darkism in the movement. Shout out to the movement. Shout out to Chairman Omali Ashitela. I will always love and respect the movement for what I learned. Let's get that clear. But what I'm trying to explain to you, thank you very much, Akeem Sears. I appreciate that. What I'm trying to explain to you is that these things, these events were the makings of how and why and when I developed the science of dark skin activism. And I want to say shout out to the love of my life, because I want to just thank you for calling it that. I called it dark skin activism. He called it the science of dark skin activism. Thank you, baby. Because you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. So as I searched in my journey, and I continue to search, I searched in college, in both undergraduate and graduate school at the University of South Florida. No answers. Nobody wanted to deal with the question specifically of dark skin. Then I started to really search. Well, I was actually searching in my family for a long time. I would have heated discussions with this particular family member of mine, who I would now consider to be a darkist, who perpetuated darkism. And this person said, "This is stupid. You're giving dark-skinned people a bad name. This is not an issue." If I had $1 for every time I could count the number of times people told me not to focus on dark skin, I would be a wealthy woman right now. People said, "Oh, you need to focus on all Black people." But I was already doing that. I was already in the Uhuru movement. I was already an activist focusing on the struggle of all Black people. And the people in St. Petersburg that's in the Uhuru movement, and some of those people have moved on to other states, Baltimore, etc., wherever, they know what it is. They know what it is. They know exactly what it is. They know I was in that movement. I was in that movement for about 10 years, working for free on the grassroots level for all Black people. So don't come at me. You're coming at the wrong person. Talk about all Black people. I've been an activist for all Black people, but what I decided to do is to break it down into what God called me to do, and that was to become the world's first dark-skinned activist. Let's get that clear. As I was on my mission to understand why dark-skinned people were treated differently than non-dark-skinned people, the development of dark-skinned activism came, and I looked to celebrities. I remember in the 90s, Lauryn Hill. And I love Lauryn Hill to death. I looked to Lauryn Hill. What was she saying about dark skin? I was looking for somebody to do what I do right now. Let's get that clear. For all you saying, what the is a dark skin activist? The dark skin activist, Rashida Strober, was looking for someone to do what I do now. There was nobody. So all you Black women on the internet, all you handlers out there that's putting dark-skinned women out with these fake dark-skinned stories, you're plagiarizing me, because in some form, fashion, shape, or form, you have ran into my work and you said, let me see what I could do to get my hands up in this, without giving respect to the person that created the lane, who went through blood, sweat, and tears to develop the lane of dark-skinned activism. You have no respect. That's my problem with you. But let me continue on. Let me continue on. There was nobody doing what I do. In 1998, there was nobody. The years prior to that, there was nobody. I discovered only it was either 1998 or 1999, I ran into the work of Kola Boof, who is the only other person in the world to focus exclusively on dark skin. I ran into her work after giving birth to the science of dark skin activism at St. Petersburg College. Now, let me address that. Now, like I said, after years of trying to understand why dark skinned people were treated differently than non-dark skinned people, one day I was in the grocery store And I'll never forget it. I was a broke undergraduate student going to St. Petersburg College, and I saw this magazine right here, Elle magazine. And we could look at the dates. The date says November 1997. Let me put that up to the screen. Y'all see that? November 1997. Why is the date important? Number one, I have a bachelor's degree in history. So history and the foundations are very important to me because history also tells the truth. It lets you know who's lying and who's not. And I can date myself all the way back to developing the science of dark skin activism. This is just one piece of evidence. This is just one piece of receipt with this particular magazine. I've kept this magazine all these years from 1997. I saw this magazine in the store and I was intrigued by the fact that this dark-skinned woman, this is 1997. I want everybody to be clear on that date. The date is important because what I'm doing right now is showing receipts of Rashida Strober being the true developer of the science of dark skin activism. Fast forwarding to the 2000s, to the internet, to social media, I brought it to the internet. Let's get that clear. Because I had been developing this science all the way back starting in 1998. So I bought this magazine, came out in November of 1997, still have it to this day. Kept it in good shape, as you can see, just like me. In 1998, I got an opportunity to speak at St. Petersburg College during African American History Month. They called it Harambe. And I decided that I was going to finally take a stand and talk only about dark skin because nobody was doing it. Y'all looking at these videos of these people that are doing nothing but plagiarizing my work now, that were nowhere around in 97, that were not, or I'm sorry, 98, that were not taking the hits for dark skin, that were not there when I was developing this science, but who don't have the respect and the decency to pay homage to the person that actually put it on the map and brought it to the Black internet. But I'm giving you the history right now. I'm breaking it down. Facts. Nothing but facts. Got the opportunity to speak at St. Petersburg College in 1998, and the same person who kicked me out of their house for speaking on dark skin, this person kicked me out of their house. That's why when I say I took the hits for dark skin, I took the hits for dark skin and still taking the hits for dark skin because now people sitting up here plagiarizing my hard work. This same person that kicked me out of her house for speaking on dark skin because she got tired of it, she wound up coming to this particular event where I spoke on Alec Weck, the dark-skinned Sudanese model, and gave birth to the science of dark-skin activism. Now, why did I decide to specifically speak on Alec Weck? Because I saw her on this cover and I started researching who is this dark-skinned model? Because I just could not believe that a white mainstream publication would have a super dark-skinned model on the cover of their magazine. And what I found was a lot of hate, darkism, dark-skinned mental abuse targeted on Alec Weck because of her dark skin and her hair. Black people were saying she is not the representative of a beautiful Black woman. She's ugly, she's manly. And I looked at all this stuff. I looked at the research in regards to what I was seeing about the dark-skinned Alec Weck. This was in 1998. Receipts. 1998. Before the internet. And I said, this is the same thing that I've been going through my whole life. Being called Black and ugly. Being called manly looking, being called African booty scratcher, being called spot getting into fights with females, males, who would call me names for being dark-skinned. This was in 1998. Receipts. I only deal with what is factual. Let's be clear. And I said, I'm going to speak on it. And that gave birth in 1998. The dates and the receipts don't lie. At St. Petersburg College to the science of dark skin activism. Long story short, this particular event was framed as a speaking contest. There were, I believe, 3 people, myself, an Indian person, and a male that was included in this contest. There was a $200, it was either $200 or $250 prize at stake for the winner. Long story short, I won. Not saying it to brag, I'm saying it because it's factual. Do your fact checking. Anybody could do their research on me. Fact check with St. P College. Fact check. Google me. After that historic speech, which gave birth to the science of dark skin activism at St. Petersburg College in 1998, receipts, dates, I started developing the science of dark skin activism. How did I do that? First of all, I started doing more research into seeing if there was anyone else talking about dark skin only. Continued to get kicked out of this particular family member's house, even after winning this contest, even after this person was sitting right there and watched me win the money prize. Even after I took this person out to dinner, I could not stop talking about dark skin. They couldn't stand it. Just like people hating on me now, they hated on me then. But now you want to ride the coattail. Now you want to steal. Now you want to plagiarize. But I digress. Moving right along. Receipts. The dates don't lie. The dates don't lie. The only other person at this time, and I would have known because I'm the authority on dark skin. Let's get that straight. I am the authority on dark skin. I am the authority on the science of dark skin activism. I put dark skin on the map, so I would have surely known. There was nobody speaking on dark skin aside from the great Cola Boof. The great Cola Boof. And some of y'all mad. Some of y'all are upset when I bring up Cola Boof's name. But here's the thing. I told y'all, I don't care about your emotions. What I care about is what is truthful and what is factual. Don't bring me your emotions. Bring me the facts. And the fact is, Cola Boof was the only other person that was speaking exclusively on dark skin. Cola Boof is the woman that created the lane of speaking on Black male celebrities who discriminate against dark skin. She been doing that way back in the 90s. And I know because I'm the authority on dark skin because I researched it and I studied it. You looking at the walking history of dark skin right in front of your face. Ain't nobody care about no dark skin back in 98, in the 90s. Nobody cared. Nobody cared to focus on it exclusively except for myself and Cola Boof. And I always give credit to where credit is due. And Cola Boof, actually, this is the reason why me and her are on the best of terms. She's made videos praising me, and I want to say thank you for that because I recognize her as the mother of the dark skin movement. I told the truth. I don't have to come up on social media and lie. I don't have to come before the people and lie. I don't have to be dishonest about where I got my inspirations from. I don't have to be, as y'all can see, I came up on here with receipts. So now let me talk about Cola Boof's Volcano Woman. Because I'm honest, and because I'm respectful, and because I'm not a liar, and I give respect to where respect is due, I'm very proud. Cola Boof sent me her series of her collection of the Volcano Woman. And in it, she wrote, "Dear Rashida, so grateful and happy that your hard work exists. Thank you, sister. Cola Boof." And I will always treasure this because this is from the woman who is the mother of the dark. We got all these disrespectful Black women out here, and it pisses me off. These disrespectful people out here talking about dark skin, talking about darkism, talking about colorism, and you don't have the decency to pay homage. Cola Boof honored me in her comic book series. She honored me. And I'm very honored that she honored me. And right now what I'm doing is there's a page, and I'm looking for the page where she specifically honored myself along with other Black women who have contributed greatly to the freedom of our people. And I think I found it. This is the page right here. Somebody just messaged me. I can show y'all the page right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there it is right there where she honored me. And I want to say salute and shout out to Cola Boof. I hope you guys can see that. She says, "Rashida Strober, aka the first dark-skinned activist, was huge in our house because Gran and Mama raised us to love our dark skin and nappy hair." I want to say shout out to Cola Boof, and I want to thank you. Just going over here looking at the comments. So from that point on, after I had given birth to the science of dark skin activism at St. Petersburg College in 1998, then went on to continue developing it, ran into the work of Cola Boof, I decided to use my God-given gift as a performer, as an orator, as a writer, as an activist, to take my dark skin experience and put it into an artistic format, continuing to develop dark skin activism. And as a result, I became the first and continue to be the only actor, actress, activist, author to focus my work only and exclusively on dark skin. Nobody has ever done that. And for those of you that want to sit there and try to claim, oh, this person, this dark-skinned actress, that dark-skinned, you're lying. No one has ever written books only on dark skin. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. That's a fact. That's a fact. Receipts. Receipts. That's why it pisses me off that people plagiarize my work that is based upon my intellectual property. I'm the first activist to focus my work exclusively on dark skin. I coined the phrases dark skin activists. I coined the phrase dark skin activism. That's a fact. You better Google me. Receipts. No matter what anybody tries to come up on here and say, it's not going to work because I only deal with what is factual. That's a fact. And those of us that are honest, we know this. I'm not even talking to you. Those of us that are concerned with truth, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking about the people that want to sit there and try to pretend that Rashida Strober did not put dark skin on the map. I don't care who talking about dark skin. I don't care if the person is on television. I don't care if they popping on social media. I put this dark skin on the map, and you should be thanking me. Getting back to the receipts. I began to develop a body of work around only dark skin. That's a fact. With receipts. That work includes my book, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge started out as a play, a one-woman play that I did when I was living in Los Angeles. And the play was called A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story. The play actually went through several different names, which I actually copywritten through the Writers Guild of America in Los Angeles. I changed the name several times. The bottom line is this play led to the sequel, which is A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, which was actually a play first. And then I kept performing the play, and people started saying, do you have a book version of this? And so I took some time off and I decided to write the book. My other books include, of course, a lot of people already know about Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, which I actually sat on this book for a long time. Wrote bits and pieces of it based on my experience, on things that I was going through. Back when I was like in my teens, in my 20s, whatnot, I decided, you know what, I'm going to put this all in the form of a book, because people kept telling me I was crazy. People kept telling me don't focus on dark skin. I did the opposite. And now I see these same people who said, what the is a dark skin activist? You sit back and you plagiarize my work and you create channels on YouTube, want to pretend like you've been talking about dark skin when you don't even. I'm laying out the history right now of the development of dark skin activism, the undisputable, irrefutable history of how I developed dark skin activism. You don't have that. What you have is a plagiarized YouTube channel. Then I eventually went on to write my other book, How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. That's the first motivational book in the world written for dark-skinned females and dark-skinned people, and anybody for that matter, but it was specifically targeted to dark-skinned females. That book can be found on my website, queenofdarkskin.com, queenofdarkskin.com. A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, I have been performing this particular play turned book since, what, 2006. As the world's first dark-skinned activist, I've also been doing speaking engagements where I've been speaking in the community, not on YouTube. This was before social media. Receipts. And by the way, let me go ahead and interject this. This is very important. Black people need to understand that the world's first dark-skinned activist actually reached the mainstream white media before reaching the Black mainstream internet. So if you do your research, you will see that I've already been on television in front of millions speaking on the science of dark-skinned activism. You will see that I've already been written about as the feature story in the 5th largest newspaper in the United States, which is the Tampa Bay Times, formerly known as the St. Petersburg Times. If you did your research, you would know that. So a lot of people may know me from the Kendrick Lamar episode, putting him on blast for darkism, committing darkism against dark-skinned women. I was been making waves and had been reached the mainstream. This was way before anybody was even speaking on dark skin. I'm the queen. I created the lane. I brought it to the internet. So with my book, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, the play, it was first, I decided to create a show, an internet radio show called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, named after my book. And this book is what all the videos I had over or close to 300 videos on YouTube that I took down when people started stealing my videos and putting them on their social media. And they know who they are. They know what they've done. And they're going to pay. We're going to work it out. They're going to pay. They're going to pay. People started stealing my videos. I took it down because it's all based upon my intellectual property. I started making videos and producing these shows in 2009. Continued to really develop it in 2012 on a platform called Get Live Radio in Clearwater, Florida. Then in 2014, one of the first people who invited me onto their social media platforms, and a lot of people said, why are you going on his platform? I didn't even know who he was at the time. He hit me up. Let's be clear. He hit me up in my inbox. I went on to Tommy Sotomayor, world's first dark-skinned activist, on Tommy Sotomayor. These are all facts, receipts, verifiable, giving you the history of how I brought dark skin activism, of how I brought dark skin to the internet, because it's not you. You didn't do it. You should be paying me. You're riding off of my coattails. You should be thanking me. Continue right along. In 2015 is when it hit critical black mass on the internet with my commentary on Kendrick Lamar, speaking out on what I felt was darkism. This was covered all over the black internet, all over the world. Millions of people saw it. I have received hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, people writing about it. Google me, YouTube me, it's right there. The information is right there. 2015, it hits critical mass with the commentary on Kendrick Lamar. After 2015, people began studying me and plagiarizing my work, making channels, and they know who they are. These people know who they are. Some of these people are snakes. I did shows with them. And then they took my material and ran with it and created material based off of my material. They know who they are. They know what it is. They know what it is. They know exactly what it is. That's why I'm on here tonight to speak on it. And I'm going to continue to speak on it. And so now, the next stage of the science of dark-skinned activism is me as the world's first dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, dealing with people who said, what the f is a dark-skinned activist, who have now turned around and plagiarized the work of the dark-skinned activist. The irony in that. The irony in that. Now, I just laid out the history of how I developed dark-skinned activism in 1998, brought it to the internet in 2009. It went full blast. Millions of people heard about it due to the Kendrick Lamar commentary in 2015. Now everybody plagiarizing. I'm the queen of dark skin. I brought this thing to the internet. And all I'm saying is this. Don't sit back and use your platforms to plagiarize and rip off my work. You did not put in the hard work. You will never be me. No matter how much you copy me, no matter how much you play, you will never be me. You can never be Rashida Strober. You can never have put in the work that I put in, the actual real work. And I asked the question, I said, where was these dark-skinned women who making these dark-skinned channels when I was receiving multiple death threats for calling Kendrick Lamar out in regards to darkism in 2015? Where were these women? None of them came to my rescue. But now you backstab me. Now you use my content to create channels. This is what it is, y'all. I'm laying out the history. The thing is, Mr. Hammer, and I'm calling you Mr. Hammer because I don't want to mispronounce your first name. The thing is, when I call myself the dark-skinned activist, what people got to understand, I'm not calling myself the dark-skinned activist as in I'm dark-skinned and I'm an activist. That's not what I'm saying. I'm calling myself the dark-skinned activist because I'm an activist that deals only with dark skin. And no one else has ever came up with that concept. Nobody. That is a fact. That is a fact. No one else even came up with the phrase dark. I coined it. Dark-skinned activist, dark-skinned activism, darkism. Nobody else can call themselves a dark. If you do, then you're doing nothing but helping me build my brand because I done branded it. It's mine. It belongs to me. It's my lane. Period, point blank. Call me a narcissist. Call me whatever you want. I created it. I developed it. It's mine. And I want everybody to look out for my book because it's coming. Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story. And I want everybody to share this video. If you're watching this right, because this needs to, my goal is to get this. And I got a lot of haters out here. They do not want to see this get to the masses, as it's already got to the masses. I did it once, and trust and believe I could do it again. Everybody that's in the sound of my voice, if you want to see justice served in regards to Rashida Strober, inventing dark skin activism, and as we sit here and watch all these people sit back and plagiarize and not pay homage and not give respect, share this video. Share it. Like it, share it, subscribe. Because people need to know the truth. You can't sit up here and act like you created something and use other people's content. And I'm speaking specifically about how we do in the Black community. I know we do it in, people do it in other communities as well. I know that. Somebody messaging me. I know that. But what I cannot allow people to do is sit here and steal and take from me after I spent years of real hard work developing this science of dark skin activism. I will not. It will be a fight. This is the next stage. And I know what I signed up for. I'm built for this. I am built for this. This is what God put me on earth to do, to be and create dark skin activism. This is what I am supposed to do. And I'm going to fight for what belongs to me. You will not usurp and steal my struggle. And I'm talking to anybody out there that's not respecting my name and my contribution. Because you would not be speaking on dark skin. And you know who you are if Rashida Strober did not bring it to the internet. And I'm going to let you guys know the full story. I gave you a little bit of just a small breakdown of the history. A small breakdown of the history. Google me. I encourage you to Google me. Everybody needs to Google Rashida Strober. Everybody needs to Google dark skin activists. Google darkism. Okay? Google dark skin activism. And what will you find? Receipts. It's going to all come back to one person. I never come up on social media and lie to people. I don't have to. I got the facts on my side. I don't have to lie. I want y'all to look out for this book. And by the grace of God, and I know, I'm going to say this, I'm not going to be up on here too long. But this is how I know. Sometimes God will give you signs to let you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Even when it seems like all the chips are down and it seems like everything is against you, God will give you signs to let you know you are doing what you're supposed to do. So let me say this. This computer that I'm recording off of, this computer went completely down. It broke. It went down, went out on me. By the grace of God, I still had a 1-year warranty on this computer. I sent it in to the manufacturer and I told him, I said, do not erase everything off of my computer. Don't. Do not take it off there. If you need to send me back the hard drive so that I can retrieve my information, do that without fixing it, but don't erase. And here's what they did. First of all, let me say the reason that I asked them not to erase everything off my computer, because I had my book that I had written, plus another book, another groundbreaking book about dark skin, because I'm the queen of this. Wrote more books on dark skin than anybody worldwide. Keep producing. I said, don't erase the information off my hard drive, because I knew that I had my book, Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story, on the book. Long story short, they sent me back my computer last week and they erased everything off of it. My books was gone. I sat there and I cuckoo cried because I was so upset, because I had just added a chapter to it and it was so good and I was so happy and proud. And I had just been editing it and it was just coming along so smoothly. So I stewed over it for a couple of days and I said to myself, maybe I should call the company and ball them out and block. But I was so mad and upset, I didn't call them for a couple of days. So something told me to call them. I called them And I was on the phone with this Indian guy. And I'm just going off because I'm so upset. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was yelling. I was screaming at the guy, all that. And he finally said to me, stop yelling at me. He starts to yell at me. And that made me shut up. That y'all know I love to talk, but that made me shut up. And so he stops me and he tells me to stop yelling at him. And he says to me, I'm going to put you on hold. And he said in a very authoritative tone, he said, I'm going to put you on hold and I'm going to go look and see if I can find this hard drive. And by the grace of God, because this man told me, he said, do you know how impossible it is? And this is a big company. They get a lot of computers. They deal with a lot of hard drives, all this. He said, do you know how hard it is to find a hard drive after we done fixed the computer? Because they basically throw it out and they put it in this area where it's just ready to be, dumped out, or they erase it. Long story short, this man found my hard drive. I was on that phone for about 30 minutes waiting on him in suspense. He came back on the phone, found my hard drive. Not only did he find my hard drive, he told me that usually they wipe the hard drive clean because they're going to use it for another computer. The hard drive still had all my information on there, including all of my books. I got about a good 5-6 books on that particular hard drive that I had either started. All the stuff is on Dark Skin, or that I had already written and just needed to be edited. I got one book that's fire. I can't tell y'all the name until I copyright it. But long story short, this man found my hard drive. The information was still on there. And then he graciously copied all the information off the hard drive onto a flash drive and sent it to me in the mail. Now, you cannot tell me that that was not God. You cannot tell me that God wants me to put this work out. The true story of who brought dark skin to the Black masses, who brought dark skin to the masses. Rashida Strober. God wants me to put that book out because that book is chock full of very detailed information. Y'all, this is just a snippet. Because God wants the truth to be known worldwide about the person who did it from their heart, not for views, not that I ain't never took from nobody and stole nothing from nobody. I ain't never watched nobody YouTube because I don't watch these people's channels. You call me arrogant. You call me narcissist. I don't watch these people's channels. Anytime I find out about somebody plagiarizing me, people bring it to me because they know what it is. They know what it is. I don't watch these people because the thing is this. I like to be my authentic, real self. So I don't need to go sit here and watch this person or watch that. I don't do that. That's not what Rashida Strober does. When you see my dark skin content, it's coming from here. It's coming from here. It's always been coming from here. Let's get that real clear. That's why it pisses me off with these fakes and frauds that's talking about dark skin that ain't care nothing about it. Where was you at in 1998 when I was developing the science of dark skin activism? If you was there, I would have known about you because I did tons of research. Bottom line is God let my information be found on that hard drive because it is meant for me to get this book to the world, to let the world know who the real and true dark skin activist is, who the real and true person that brought dark skin to the internet and put it on the map. And that person is Rashida Strober. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to look at the comments now. Just scrolling down, looking at the comments here. If you want to support, and I encourage everybody to support my work, and everybody should have a copy of my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Everybody should have a copy of A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. I just put the GoFundMe up there. These books are $25 each. You will get an autographed copy of the book if you give $25 or more. So I put the PayPal link up there. You can go through PayPal, right? or you can go through my GoFundMe. It doesn't matter. You can go through either way. And like I said, anybody that gives $25 or more is going to get an autographed copy of my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Or if you want a Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, you can get that book too. I encourage people to donate. Why do I encourage people to donate? I encourage people to donate simply because I'm still on tour. I've always been on tour. I've never stopped touring. I've been the world's first dark-skinned activist. As I just pointed out to y'all clearly with receipts, I've been the dark-skinned activist. Started this work in 1998. Okay. So the work needs support. That's the reason why I come on to social media and I say, look, those of you that really support me, those of you that are really behind me, get the book. Get the book. Oh, I want to thank you for that, Andre. Thank you. Thank you for that compliment. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Get the book. Support my work, because what you're doing when you're supporting my work, you are supporting the spread of the truth in regards to dark skin activism, in regards to who put it on the map. And I have worked my butt off, literally. My butt off. I don't work my butt off to get this science out here to the people, to bring it to the internet, and to sit back and have people just blatantly disrespect me. First they said I was crazy. First they said he's a dark-skinned activist. Then to have these people sit back and steal and copy my work. Y'all know that ain't right. So if you want to support getting the truth out, the work of the world's first dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, the woman who put dark skin on the map, what you need to do, share this video. That's easy. Just click share. What you need to do if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. What you need to do if you're watching this on YouTube, also like and buy the books. Buy the books. What better way to understand a person who creates a movement, a person who creates a science, by reading their books? That's the best way to do it. And like I said, anybody who gives in the amount of $25 or more is going to get an autographed copy of my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And I want to say thank you to the people who purchased the book. I've gotten one of your books out today. One of the people got back with me after the post office closed. I actually personally go out and make sure these books get mailed out. Okay. So you will be getting an autographed copy of Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, $25 or more, and you'll be supporting the tour. I have some fire, and when I tell y'all fire products coming up with dark skin activism, man, I got fire. I got fire coming at y'all. I can't say it yet. As y'all know, I already done talked about people plagiarizing my work. When I'm ready to release this fire, believe me, y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna know. But in the meantime, support. My website is queenofdarkskin.com, aka RashidaStrober.com. Go to the website, check it out, get the books, contact me. Y'all know how to get in contact with me. I'm very easily contactable. If you want me to be a guest on your show, you know how to contact me. You know what to do. I'm always available. I never turn people down, because this is very important to me for the world to understand what the science of dark skin activism is, the history behind it. The history behind it is so important. We cannot allow the history of the science of dark skin activism to get lost like other parts and pieces of Black history has gotten lost. We can't allow that. That's why I sat down and wrote this history out, because I understand one of the downfalls, I would say, of oppressed people is not keeping a written record of their accomplishments or a written record of their struggles. And that's what I have done with the science of dark skin activism. That is why I wrote the book, Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story, because I wanted a written record, a historical record, when I am dead and gone, that people could look at and they could say, okay, this is what it is. This is where it came from. This is how it started. Looking at my thing. So I want to encourage you guys to go to the website, like I said, queenofdarkskin.com. Go ahead and get your book. $25 or more. You're going to get an autographed copy of Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Get this book. Get it for your mama, your sister, your brother, whoever. Everybody needs to read this book, okay? I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm going to be coming back on here again, letting people know about who created the science of dark skin activism, how, why, and when it was created. I'm going to keep putting this information out because the people got to know the truth. I want to thank you guys once again for watching, and I'm signing out. It is the world's first dark skin activist, Rashida Strober, the queen of dark skin, Rashida Strober, the woman who brought dark skin to the internet, Rashida Strober, the woman who put dark skin on the map, Rashida Strober, the queen, the undisputed queen of dark skin. Good night, y'all.